The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
From the farthest reaches of the galaxy, the Midwest, you're watching Beyond the Blast Doors live.
We are live for BTBD Live. It's Star Wars Talk on this Thursday night. So glad that you are with us. The theme this week, breaking news. We got plenty of it. Welcome in to the BTBD Live studio on a Thursday night. David Amlotti, your host. As always, thankful to be with you on this Thursday night to talk about Star Wars. Everything. That could be movies, TV, books, comics, toys, collectibles. Toys are collectibles. Collectibles is a broad genre. The point being is we're going to be talking about almost all of those things in the next 60 minutes. Maybe a little bit less, but there is a lot of breaking news within the last even hour or so. I mean, half an hour maybe? You might have heard Vader Immortal is dropping for PlayStation VR, and this is huge because, I mean, maybe I'm biased. I didn't have a way of playing Vader Immortal before. I didn't have the Oculus. I don't have the money like one Mr. Pete Fletzer, my co-host of streaming Star Wars. That's usually on Friday nights. Not happening this week. We'll talk about that later. Nothing's problem. We're just busy with our lives. But he's also the host of Around the Galaxy, and he has the money to have Vader Immortal at home to spoil his children with. But I don't. I didn't have that opportunity. And I know what you're thinking. David, did you not go to Star Wars Celebration last year? I did. Did you play the game when you had the opportunity to? I did not. No, I did not. I did not. The lines were very long, and time was of the essence. So I did not get to play it. However, the game looks incredible. We'll talk about that in just minutes. Welcome in, though, episode 84. We're on a roll here. We took that, it seems like every summer it's a hiatus. Why? Life gets busy. Even during a pandemic, life gets hectic with work and family obligations. We've been through this before. I moved. I got married, got a new job, said bye to people I wasn't ready to say bye to. But we get over those things because life and time waits for nobody. And so we're here in this moment, and I'm really excited to talk about it. Honestly, having a great day, and no matter when you're listening to this or where you're watching this, just happy to be sharing this moment with you. I got to be honest with you. Mandy, the wife, went back to work today. Today was the first day back. The first day she stepped back into a school since March 13th. She's a teacher. I said that already. I don't know why I said that like I hadn't said it once already. And a little bit of stress, right? Because there's no good way to do anything during a global pandemic. And so she went back, and they did things like talking about protocol for COVID and how the school works. We live in a new state. She's in a new school district. There's a lot of things that are being thrown at her, and she rocked it. And so I tried to do something special for her, and I did a steak dinner, and it turned out mostly well. The meat was rare, but the meal itself was well. Did like surf and turf, did like shrimp with some garlic and butter, put that on the grill. Did steak, seared them, 4 minutes on both sides, got a little pink on the inside. You set the meat on the plate, and it just drizzled. It was wonderful. And had a bottle of Chianti. So I'm feeling great. Not that like I drank uncontrollably. I'm just very happy that her first day is underway. It can only go up. It can get a lot worse, but we're gonna hopefully it just gets better from here. But we had a nice dinner outside on the patio, and I was going back and forth how I wanted to approach this Star Wars conversation with you. And then it's like fate, life, God, somebody, something heard me and dropped a bunch of breaking news. So we're going to go through this in the next couple of minutes. That's a relative term for me. I'm like talking like the next 40 minutes. We're going to be talking about Vader Immortal. Yes, we're going to get into it. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to watch the trailer footage they put out. We're going to watch that together here on the show. Super excited to do this with you. And I hope I do it correctly. If not, it's a disaster. We all witness it together, and then I re-record it after the show and publish it later. That's just the reality of doing a live stream. But we also have an excerpt, thanks to IGN, of the Thrawn Ascendancy, Chaos Rising novel that's coming out here in a short while. we don't only just have the excerpt, we have a audio telling from the one and only Mark Thompson. By the way, shout out, he was on Around the Galaxy a few weeks ago. You can watch an hour-long plus interview with him right now on the YouTube channel, Beyond the Blast Doors. That's all you have to search. But by all means, do that after you watch my show. You can always watch Pete's show. Watch my show now. We're having this moment together. We're friends. It's great. No, but seriously, he was awesome on that episode. You should definitely check him out. Great to hear him here. Also, shout out, the reason why he was on the show a couple weeks ago was he was kind of talking about, well, for like 10 seconds, that Dr. Aphra audiobook. I'm halfway through it right now, but his Vader is one of my favorite things from that audiobook. We talked about it on episode 83. Really happy with it. Again, still finding Aphra very sassy. Almost like too much for me, but I like what they're doing with the character nonetheless. But his Vader, Mark Thompson's Vader, is mwah, the gabagoo. All right, so before we dive into the bulk of this show, as always, I just want to shout out the people that are with me in this moment live. So Galnorian Saber is with us. Gilster37 is with us. We got Nick Melky with us. We got Dale in the live chat. Great to see you, Dale. Vader's Girl 28. Great to see you in here as well. We got a really great crew in here. If you guys can do me a favor, as always, we want to just go ahead, give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, and share this live stream on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you have. Always the goal. We do this about every 10 minutes. I always try and double the live chat. It's just a fun way. Let's get as many of our friends in the live chat talking about Star Wars. We got a lot of fun things to be talking about. And also, I want to shout out Andy. I believe he texted this to me, but apparently there's some new pop figures on the way, and it is the prototype Boba Fett, I believe, the white Mandalorian, right? And there's also a Vader that's going to be dropping that looks incredible. We're trying to find the pre-order links. Once we have that information, we will bring it to you on beyondtheblastdoors.com. But first things first, got to remind you that when you can join us for the live show for Beyond the Blast Doors, which we always prefer that just because we think that the live experience is a lot of fun to have this conversation and share it together. But you can always listen to our Star Wars conversation wherever you listen to your podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Patreon, all those areas. You can find our audio version of our podcast. You can also find our stream. If you don't want to go digging through all that, that's no problem at all. BeyondTheBlastDoors.com. You can actually find not just this stream, not just the stream for BTBD Live, but you can also find the stream, the podcast streams, for every show in the Beyond the Blast Doors network. So if they're under that umbrella of Beyond the Blast Doors, BeyondTheBlastDoors.com, that is where you need to check it out. Okay? That's my pitch. We have breaking news on BTBD Live within the last, half hour or so. StarWars.com announces, and this is pretty exciting, the fact that, hey-oh, I'm on camera. That was fun. Let's try this again. Hey-oh. I got excited there. So like I was saying, we have breaking news in the last half hour. We have Star Wars Darth Vader Immortal, Vader Immortal, coming to us on PlayStation VR. And this is rocking a lot of people's mind here because until this moment, it hasn't really been available unless you had like the Oculus or if you got to play it maybe at like a Star Wars Celebration. So like I said, this dropped within the last half hour or so of us going live. Really excited. Again, this is going online for PlayStation VR August 25th, and this is awesome. Dropped about a minute trailer today along with this announcement, and it's a cool game where, it's a story in between Empire Strikes Back, or rather Revenge of the Sith, and A New Hope. You spend some time on Mustafar. There's 3 installments of the story, and I have a lot of friends that always talk about this like lightsaber mode that they talk about, but just some of the screenshots alone, it's just absolutely stunning to see here. I'm in love with it. I think it's really cool. I'm excited to get into Lightsaber Dojo just to wield a blade, and pretty affordable too. I mean, I think that's a real positive of this whole thing, is the fact that the 3 episodes will be sold as one purchase, $30. You get the complete trilogy. And don't forget, this is like a really impressive story. You got David Goyer writing the story. You're talking about the guy who did Dark Knight, Blade. You got Ben Snow, the guy that directed Star Wars Secrets of the Empire. Maya Rudolph is involved, right? Bridesmaids, Big Mouth. We all know Maya Rudolph. And Scott Lawrence is in there as well. Now, Scott Lawrence does, you know him from Star Wars Resistance. He's Darth Vader in this. I just mentioned a little while. Mark Thompson does Darth Vader for the audiobooks, the Star Wars audiobooks. But still, nonetheless, very impressive. We get these cool graphics. Yeah, Vader Immortal, really great. It's up for an Emmy, so that's cool. Or actually, no, it was a finalist in the 2019 Gaming Emmys. So pretty cool nonetheless. And I got to tell you, I am again thrilled about this news. Because there has been such a lull for Star Wars gaming. And this was one of those experiences that I remember seeing. And I've talked with Pete about it a little bit and how much fun it is. And I'm really excited to bring this story into my living room. And I think this is what, I mentioned my wife. She'll watch the movies with me. She's not the biggest Star Wars fan. But I could see her trying this. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Be something fun to do, to share with friends when they come over. Hey, guys, want to come over to my house and take a trip to Mustafar? Sounds like a really bad pickup line from college. And I went to high school with all dudes. Bazinga. But if you think about it, this is a great idea. You got the excitement around the PlayStation 5 right now, okay? You know that this game was well received from those who played it. And again, you could play it on the Oculus. You could play it at Star Wars Celebration. There's a couple other events where you could go into a VR chamber and experience this game. But I am truly thrilled for the chance, again, to wield a lightsaber. Everyone who's played it tells me that the sensation of the saber, this is as real as it possibly can get. This is the closest that you and I will ever get to playing in the Star Wars world. So I'm really excited to bring this bad boy home. Again, only $30. This drops August 25th. We're just a couple of weeks away from it. So make sure you put this on your list. Keep your eye on it. We'll do that for you as well. We'll remind you. But this is something to be really excited about. What do you think about Vader Immortal dropping on PlayStation VR? Are you going to make the purchase for $30? What do you plan to do? Let me know. Tweet me at BTBD Star Wars. Or if you're watching live, you can comment in the live section right now. Gotta catch my breath. Working it up, getting sweaty. My cats are freaking out right now. I've got two cats over here that are wrestling on a mantle. Meatloaf, who we call Jasper Jones normally, but Meatloaf is a fat cat. He is 17 pounds. You don't even run a pre-diabetic test for this cat. You know he's diabetic. He is a fat cat. That's why I call him Meatloaf. He resembles the meatloaf my mother made in my early years, my childhood, okay? The cat resembles a meatloaf. He just jumped off the mantle. That was incredible. Who would expect cat play-by-play on a Star Wars podcast? It's just one of the things you get here. Dale, the question was... you're commenting in the live chat. What is the question? The question is, are you excited about Vader Immortal being available for PlayStation VR? Will you make that purchase for $30? I want to know. A lot of excitement in the live chat, which is always fun to see. We got Pete's in the live chat, and he is supporting my statements. His son, Jackson, likes the Vader Immortal. They already have it, so they might not be excited. They have a father that loves them enough to already buy the game. They have the game. But for us, the schmucks that are left out in the dry, we have to fend for ourselves. We will get this on August 25th. I'm really excited about it, just visually. And like I said before, it's like the closest that you and I will ever get to being in a Star Wars game. I'm pretty excited. I love this. Salacious Rum in the live chat. I love that name. A very cool experience. Dale Erdman says, impressive, most impressive. Gilster says, number episode? This is episode 84 of BTBD Live on a Thursday night. We got Gilster still in the live chat with us. They're starting to talk about Mandalorian, and now the conversation's on my cat. Yeah, 17 pounds. I don't feed the pet. That's not my job. The cat moves very well, though, for 17 pounds. Moves very well. In fact, we think that I think he feels like he's a prisoner. Grilling for Manny just hours ago, the door was left a crack. There was a little crevice in between the door edge and the door frame, and the cat used it as an opportunity to try and flee. And instead of going through the garage door, this big opening, I mean, we have a 2-car-plus garage. Door is massive. It's up, okay? The cat can leave. The cat decides to run under my car and hits its head on the gas tank. He's fat, and he's dumb. We got him back inside. He is still a prisoner of this home. All right, so everyone's having a good time. Love to see it. Love to see it. Dale Ordman says, no, I'm not into games that much after a 10-year addiction. This might be the game to get you back in. And we've all talked, listen, we know what's coming down in the future with Star Wars gaming. Really excited to man my own cockpit, if you know what I mean. That's right, I'm flying an X-Wing all over the place. Maybe a TIE Fighter, too. Come on, Star Wars Starfighter, let's frickin' go. God, remember when we were like, which Star Wars Maverick? It was way better than that. Maverick. I mean, it was like, it's like a play on words, right? Like Top Gun, Maverick. Frickin' Star Wars Starfighter. It's going to be insanely great. All right, thank you for letting me rant. That felt really good. Yeah. See, now I'm just going to start. Now I'm just going to sweaty think about Star Wars Squadrons. Because I get to fly my own spaceship around the galaxy, and it's going to be better than anything we've ever had. And I'm talking about all the Battlefront games. It's going to be great. But we're not talking about that game right now. No. We're not doing that right now. We're talking about comics next. Second topic, BTBD Live. This week in Star Wars comics, we're treated with a couple of different issues. The two I want to mention, one I will only highlight. We didn't do this. I didn't keep my promise. And we need to go back, and I need to keep my promise. I apologize, fam. I'm absolutely going to do this. I'm absolutely going to bring us back here in this moment. We're going to watch this trailer together. I got so excited about this game that I didn't even get to watch it. I mean, that's how worked up I got. That's all right. We got this. Excuse me, that was a loud burp. Reminder, we're doing Star Wars Immortal here. All right, this is good. This is good, real good. All right, everybody, are we ready to do this? I'm gonna play this, and I hope to God it works. And if it doesn't work, well, just may the Force be with us all. All right, here we go. So here's what we're about to do. Just minutes ago, StarWars.com released this trailer and the announcement that Vader Immortal is dropping August 25th, and now we're going to watch the trailer together in this moment live. It's going to be incredible. Let's do this. This is going to be great. I want that
The Force is strong with you.
Vader's voice is fantastic. Oh, yeah.
You
Getting
must
shot
stop
by a-
Vader.
I don't understand why you
This
never
looks so real.
mentioned that you had the Force.
There's Maya, I mean. The Saber Dojo that we were talking about. I want the dual green. Oh, wait, can I have a dual saber? I want Force Lightning. Well, maybe I should have watched that before we actually did the show, but I'm stunned. That was incredible. Just a minute. Reminder, I've never played that game in my life, and watching that video with you in this moment was awesome. That looks like a lot of fun. I take back my statement. I don't want two green lightsabers. I want a double-sided blue saber. Let's make it happen. I'm excited. I am like sweating right now because of how intense that minute was. With the Force Lightning And then Vader's just chilling on Mustafar like, I'm so ready. And like, I know a little bit about the story, and maybe you do too, right? The story's been out there for months. You go online, you can find it. The story's been out there for 4 months, okay? But what a great minute we just experienced together. Again, the game is available for PlayStation VR August 25th. Was it $40? That's all you had to pay. $30. It's $30 to buy that. So that's worth it. You should absolutely do that. Absolutely do that. Vader Immortal, it's a win. Super cheap. It's $10 an episode or installment or chapter or whatever they're calling it. Hands down. That was great. I'm in for it. I can't wait to play with you. It's going to be awesome. Well, actually, I guess we can't play together. I guess it's all our own experience. Isn't that great? We all get our own experience. That was incredible. All right. Now it's time for the next topic. Here on BTBD Live, episode 84, we are talking about Star Wars comics. We had 2 issues that dropped. And one was number 5, Star Wars, right? This is the Charles Soule run that's been very enjoyable. We all know that I worship at the altar of Charles Soule. And we also have here what I think I'm more excited about, which is the Vader 4. That's the cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. And what we have here is we have Vader returning to the tomb of Padme Amidala, his boo. And so what I really like about this episode, or what I should say about that comic, is the fact that we get like those customary like 4 or 5 pages of preview for the comic. And so I want to pull those up to you real quick. I won't take a lot of time with this, but I want to show you these panels because I think they're worth it. I'm pretty excited, if you can't already tell. I'm very excited about this. So yeah, Greg Pak writing this thing. The cover is just absolutely gorgeous. And we've seen this a few times in Star Wars comics. We've seen this in Charles Vader run, even. Is manipulating Vader in a way where the dark side of the Force uses Padme against him and taunts him. And it's kind of what we're seeing here with the Vader series. I don't want to give everything away. I think Greg Pak is doing a really nice job with this. I'm a sucker for Vader, even though I'm the one person that's always like, man, the story group is really relying on Vader since 2013. This is excessive. But seriously, this is wonderful. So you get the cover here. We kick in here where there's this rebel attack. We got everything you need here. You got Vader. You got rebels. You got Gungans. Got Naboo people. Nabooans, right? They're all fighting for the queen. You got Gungans throwing frickin' orb bomb things. I can't remember what they're called. It's okay. We're not expected to remember everything, okay? You got Death Troopers. Vader with a lightsaber. Vader killing somebody with a lightsaber. Vader again. The Tomb of Padme with that statue. And then, someone's showing up. This is pretty cool. Boom. You will not desecrate this grave. Okay, so I fast forward through it, right? Because I don't want to spoil anything for you. The handmaidens. Handmaidens of Amidala are protecting the tomb. That's all I'm going to tell you about. I'm not trying to go any further into it. I'm pretty happy about it. I want you to know that I am over the moon about this comic and where it's going. Yes, I hit the wrong graphic. I changed out the shot. It's well okay. Is anyone else losing their mind right now? The fact that we are going to Padme's tomb in canon comics. We got the handmaidens guarding the tomb. Like, let's frickin' go. Like, this is what you want to experience as a Star Wars. I want to experience this as a Star Wars fan. This is where comics can go that we can't explore in the movies. This is the emotional manipulation of Vader, and he does it to himself. He is going to uncover secrets, and he is going to the tomb of his wife on Naboo. This is his first time to the planet, I believe. since he killed her, right? Or she lost the will to live, whatever. I'm not here to start controversy here. I'm not here to argue canon. I'm just pretty sure it's the first time. The writing is incredibly tight in this comic, which I think is really helpful. At the same time, though, I'm not a fan of longer form writing in comics. They tend to get that rap of, well, they're just 24 pages and they're pretty pictures and old mid-aged people with sweaty palms reading them. Listen, I don't buy into that. Okay, like I'm a big fan of this comic line. Really dig where they're going with the story. I love the art. You saw that cover. Mwah, will purchase, right? Check that out. I will say, now I brought it up just a moment ago. Number 5, Souls Run. It's fun. It's really hard for me to get into the main Star Wars run, because it just, no matter what, it all feels like filler. But this is an arc called The Destiny Path, okay? And it starts in a bar. It's a man saying that he's Luke Skywalker trying to get a job. It's not. Vader shows up trying to track down Luke Skywalker. That guy doesn't live much longer after that. But yeah, Vader is on the hunt for, Luke still at this point. But remember, this series is now taking a look at what's going on between Empire and Return of the Jedi. And I'm, again, not going into everything, but this comic does start paving the way. How does Luke Skywalker become the Jedi Knight at the beginning of Return of the Jedi? This arc starts to really set a foundation for that journey, so we can get those answers. How do we go from the blue-eyed, optimistic Luke Skywalker? Okay, he's been beaten down in Empire, and now he is starting to really try and learn the ways of the Force and become a mature practicer of the Force. I have a hard time calling him a Jedi Knight. Yoda doesn't even call him a Jedi Knight until he goes off and faces Vader. And Luke doesn't even say he's a Jedi Knight until he defeats Vader on the second Death Star. Okay, so for all sake, he's a Force practitioner. That's what we're calling him. Kind of like a nurse practitioner. Good for you? Good for me. All right, great. So those are the comics that are out right now. I would definitely check them out. I would get Star Wars 5 for the writing. I would get Vader 4 for the writing, but also the art. And that's all. That's all I really got to say about that. That's where I'm at. Comics, it's been a dry spot because it's been a couple of months now where we haven't had Star Wars comics because of the pandemic. And now we have them again. I'm going to be honest. I am struggling getting in a routine. My LCS doesn't have my orders anymore. I have to find a new comic book shop. I moved 2.5 hours further away from St. Louis. These are dark times that the Empire has brought on. What do I want to do right now? Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to tell you about BeyondTheBlastDoors.com, because when you wake up in the morning and you want your Star Wars fix, the first place you should go is BeyondTheBlastDoors.com. We want to give you that complete Star Wars fan experience. So you can find our latest live shows, all of our podcast feeds, like I mentioned earlier. We do news. We're not an aggregate. We just kind of talk about the things that really interest us. We do some speculation, a lot of opinion pieces. We do some comic book reviews. These are all written by BTBD network personalities you enjoy. Movies, TV, books, comics, toys, cosplay, BeyondTheBlastDoors.com. Welcome to our conversation, a Star Wars conversation. Now, I'm not quite sure how to lead into this next one, because this is mastery. This is wizardry. And again, thank you for joining me for the Star Wars conversation, episode 84 of BTBD Live. Watching the live chat right now, watching the live show. Be sure you thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and can you share this on your social media? Let's double that live chat audience. If you're listening on the rewind, you're watching on the rewind, just drop me a comment down in the comment section. Tell me what interests you the most that we've talked about so far. We've thrown a lot of things at you, having a lot of fun. At our midway point here on episode 84. So, from my understanding, I could be completely wrong here. Pete Fletzer, Scotty J. Rowe, David over at As Father and Son podcast decide they're going to do a parody. They get this idea. They want to do a parody of The Mandalorian. Apparently, they get together, and it's like magic. It's like Sorcerer's Stone. I mean, we're flying on broomsticks. We are taking the Sorcerer's Stone. We're going to live forever. We're going to beat Voldemort. A lot of Harry Potter references in this, but I'm telling you, I'm told that they had an incredible time. And so the name of this song is This Is the Way You Make Me Feel. It's a Star Wars parody. They even have, there's even, folks, there is a band name that has a Twitter account. And I am really excited. These guys, they're all really good guys. If you don't listen to As Father and Son, you really need to. David and his son do a bang-up job. Really good Star Wars conversation. And, of course, we know about Pete. We know about Scotty. Both, their passions, fans. Silver-Colored Knob. It's like, that's their band. I freaking love it. And, there is some information that I want to run down. What we're going to do in this moment is I want to play like the first minute. I'm going to play like the first minute. I asked Pete if I could. He was super cool about it. He just sent me the video. He's like, don't play all of it. We're releasing it Monday. So I want to get it all out there. This is the Way You Make Me Feel by Silver-Colored Knob. This is a homage to 80s and 90s ballads written from the perspective of the Mandalorian himself. It is a love letter to Baby Yoda from the Mandalorian Star Wars Disney Plus series, yes. It is parody. It's actually really freaking good. Why do I say it's actually really freaking good? Because most Star Wars parodies blow. And you might say I'm biased because I'm friends with these fellas, and I do a Star Wars podcast with them, and I run a network with them. Go ahead. Yeah, it's catchy AF. Catchy AF? I've been out of college for 6 years, and I feel extremely pathetic right now in this moment. Silver-Colored Knob is a virtual band comprised of BTBD personalities, Pete Fletzer and Scotty J. Rowe. We also have David Drennan in here, like I said, from As Father and Son. The song actually will be available in its entirety on August 10th, so just a couple of days away. Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, most streaming services. Again, you'll find the full song August 10th. Be on the lookout for that. Can also follow Silver-Colored Knob on Twitter at Silver Knob Band. Very original. For more information, new songs, and giveaways when This Is the Way hits key download milestone. So they put a lot of work into this. It's, I think, pretty well written. We're going to listen to the first minute together, and I really want to get your feedback. So if you're watching in the live chat, watching the live show right now, obviously I want your feedback on this. We're going to listen to this, watch this together. It's pretty great. Pete's going to have, and Pete keeps telling everybody that the video is live on there's the video on the YouTube channel, but I'm pushing towards the Monday release. If you want to go watch the YouTube channel video, you can. Clearly, Pete does want you to do that. I just thought we were supposed to push this to Monday. I also want to let you know that the writer and singer of this song, David himself, not me, David, that David, will be on the show next week, which I'm really excited about. Okay, cool. So, yes, Monday is the official release. Dailerman's like, what channel? This channel. Hey, Buana Beast is in the live chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Ion Cannon with us as well. The live chat continues to grow. Hey, David from As Father and Son is here. Just got home from a dinner date. That's okay. No problem at all. Live chat group is growing. If you can go ahead and share this episode again right now, this live show right now on your Facebook, Twitter, let's double the crowd as we go ahead and we will play this clip. I'm going to stop talking right now.
So you think I'm some kind of mercenary?
It's cold out cared about anyone or anything, only the price that my next bounty would bring. But everything changed, turned upside down, rearranged when you pulled my finger. This is the way you make me feel. This is the way, and I know that it's real. Dodging blaster fire, my jetpack takes us higher and higher. The way the wind blows your tiny ears, I'm glad this mask hides all my tears, 'cause this is the way you make.
How about that? I brought up the wrong graphic, but I had to cut off. I had to cut that song off as soon as I hit the minute mark because I did not want to give too much away. I also previewed Adam's tweet from last week, but that's not important. How good is that though? Like the beat itself is something you'd have heard in the 80s. And the lyrics, they make sense. And you might be thinking, well, shouldn't they? Listen, I've tried writing a song before, and it was shit. Terrible. You haven't heard it, have you? You haven't. Why? It was terrible. I just tried combining terrible and trash at the same time. And that's why you got terrible. That's how my day's going. Pete, David, Scotty, freaking great work. You can watch the video on the YouTube channel right now if you want to watch and listen to the whole song. It's like 3 minutes. Or you can wait Monday, the official release. I rattled off all that information before. We also have that information available on the website, on the YouTube channel. So check that out. I know that David is in the live chat right now. We got Pete in the live chat right now. I don't think Scotty was able to. Scotty's a teacher too. And Scotty's not just a teacher. Scotty teaches at a private Catholic school, which, you know, those teacher meetings are like 3 hours longer than public school teacher meetings. They never get to leave. They never get to leave. And Scotty has a wife that he has to care. Well, she takes care of him. I think she probably takes care of him. He's just there. So we hope he gets to leave school soon and come play. But these three dudes got together and wrote that song. You heard a little sample of it just then. Really funny, really good. There's a lot of Star Wars parodies out there. That one is fun. And I'm assuming, and I'm assuming here, they went as far as making a Twitter for this band they've made, this parody band. So I'm looking forward to the next song. I think it should be Rogue One inspired or influenced. That's just me. I'm one with the Force. Can you imagine the fun they could have with that? It'd be great. And I should get like 5% because I just gave you that idea. But looks like everyone is having a fun time in the live chat with that. So, Pete, thanks for sending that over. David, Scotty, Pete, great work on that. That's just a lot of fun. And I think that those are some of the things that is a great example of what is great about Star Wars and the fandom and the internet. When you combine all the things, you can make friends. You can create cool content like that. I think it's why a lot of us podcast. And when Pete first told me about that parody, the joy he had in the text and the joy he had on that phone call, I feel like with work and the pandemic and just responsibilities of life, we get beaten down sometimes. And it was really fun to hear that joy. And honest to God, it was a 1.5-minute phone call I had with Pete, and I knew that I had to do an episode this week. I couldn't let it pass because I think we've all turned a corner. I think it's going to start getting better. There's still a pandemic. We still need to wear a mask. Still need to social distance. You should still wash your hands, even after the pandemic. When it finishes, still wash your hands. But we're turning a corner here. Star Wars is back, baby. Look at all the breaking news we had. Hey, by the way, I mentioned all the breaking news that we've had. I should pull up this bad guy right here. So this is some more breaking news that we've gotten here in the last, I don't know, day, 2 days. I think it's like a day. I think it's been a day. But we know that Thrawn Ascendancy is coming out. And I'm curious because we're following Thrawn here before the rise of the Empire. Okay? And to me, this is the perfect story to tell with Thrawn. One, because he already has a cult following. Two, because it's a character that, aside from Rebels, we haven't played with at all. I mean, really. And you can go and you can explore before and after the Skywalker saga, and I think avoid any trouble with fans. But that's just me. Really cool cover. This again is Thrawn Ascendancy, Chaos Rising. And you're looking at the cover. We're going to learn about Thrawn before the Empire. There is this excerpt, and it is rather long. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not going to read it to you. Why would I read it to you? That would make no sense at all if I read it to you. But I will tell you about a few things about this. And the fact is that you can, so the print, the audiobook, September 1st is when it's available to you. The pre-order link is available right now on Amazon. I'm all about them hardcover books, especially with Thrawn. I've got the first three, well, not the first three, but the new canon Thrawn from Timothy Zahn I have behind me somewhere. So, excuse me, I just burped. That was quite disgusting. We're falling off the rails here. Why? It's because I don't know how much to give away. I'll just say this. Here's what we know, okay, and based on this excerpt, okay? We're on the Chiss home planet. The planet is under attack. There's an investigation into it. We get this new character. I think it's Simacro, but I could be wrong. I have never once pronounced a Chiss's name correctly other than Thrawn. And there's like the ship. It's called like the Springhawk, and this guy named Simacro is like Thrawn's first officer. Okay, so we're like back before all the fun characters we played with in the last trilogy of books. This is like brand new. And there is this excerpt that you get. Again, this is an IGN exclusive. What is cool about this, though, is Mark Thompson's audio version of this. So he's doing the audiobook for this book. Okay, so this excerpt is also available in audiobook form. And why do we like the Star Wars audiobooks, class? Because they're like the freaking movie. If you go listen to the Dr. Aphra one, if you go listen to the Dooku one that Kevin Scott wrote, okay, you have actual cast performing the story. You get the soundtrack. You get the special effects. It is incredible. It's freaking radio drama. It is awesome, and it's great. And IGN has it available for you right now. I tweeted that out on our BTBD Live account, and I also tweeted it out on the BTBD Network Twitter account. So check this out. A lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I just don't like to give it away. It's like the same thing. Like I even feel guilty going through those panels of that comic, but like they just look so good. And the freaking handmaidens of Amidala are guarding the tomb. That is genius stuff. Okay. So this is this is Thrawn. This is the topic that we're taking on now. Is Thrawn, and it drops here in a couple of weeks, September 1st. It's a Tuesday. Be on the lookout for that. We'll probably get a pre-order link out there here in a moment, just so that way, if you haven't gotten that book, you can. And in a way, it also kind of supports the channel here. We always like that Amazon affiliate stuff. I'm really excited about that. You know, I'm gonna be honest. If you offered me Thrawn from Star Wars Rebels and Thrawn from the books, I would take the Thrawn from Rebels, even though for the sake of that series, Thrawn had to lose a lot. And Thrawn's intelligence was shown often, I would say. But for the Rebels, right? For the Rebels' sake, that band of Rebels, Thrawn lost a lot more than I would expect. You can make the argument that he won a lot, too, in that series. I still would pick the Rebels, despite my gripe there, right? I still feel like that Thrawn is a little bit more consistent with what we know about the Thrawn from the EU. Timothy Zahn wrote it all, but there are some differences. The big difference with the writing style now for Thrawn is we are much more in the head of Thrawn, a lot more internal dialogue, and it is very scholastic. Like, he's just incredibly intelligent, And Timothy Zahn does a great job of capturing it, but it's to the point where it's almost difficult to get through yourself because you're just not as smart as Thrawn. Just simple fact. Will you pick up this book? I'm sure you will. Tell me why you want to read this book. What do you hope happens in this book? I don't know. How do you top what happened in the last book when you get the moment with freaking Vader, Thrawn, and the Emperor? I don't know how he tops it. But he's getting another trilogy of books, so I have to imagine he did something in that pitch meeting that everybody was like, 3 books go. Go. Can't wait to find out what it is. I love Star Wars. I like good Star Wars stories. And that's what he makes. That's what he makes. Hey, I've had such a great time with you on episode 84 of BTBD Live. As always, if you can't catch the live show every Thursday night or as many Thursday nights as we try to make, we understand that we have lives and wives and husbands and, work, and we have to eat food sometimes, and we have to travel, so sometimes we don't get the show in. But when we do the show, Thursday nights, it's live, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You can support us on Patreon. We're going to have some great new content on Patreon. Just had an incredible conversation this afternoon with everyone on the network, and it was awesome. The ideas that everyone has, I'm really excited to see what we run with. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I want you to join us for that adventure. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're working really hard. We're all balancing. Listen, we're in the global pandemic, and you and I both know the Star Wars podcast does not come first. But we are going to make something special here in the very near future, and we want you to join us. Before I jump out of here, one more time, just diving into the live chat. Dale Erdman says, great show, David. I appreciate that. I've been off my game for a while. We all know that there were like 3 episode 83s, and 2 of which will never see the light of day. But like I said before, I talked to Pete on that phone call. We're turning a corner. Got the old set back. Now you're not just looking at like my empty living room. We're back in business, baby. As Father and Son says, Star Wars is life. All those other things just get in the way. That's true. Nick Melky goes, BTBD staff meeting? ? Oh, absolutely. We have those once in a while. We're gonna have them a lot more often now. Just that we're all still in the straight and narrow with our grand vision for what we want to do here with Beyond the Blast Doors Network, which a lot of it you're seeing on beyondtheblastdoors.com. Honest to God, that website, I am so proud of the work that we do on there. We're posting content. We're averaging about every day and a half where it's Star Wars collections because of the Holo Chronicles hashtag Show Me Your Collection contest. You got Shannon doing incredible content for gaming. Also, she's doing a killer job on our Instagram. She has reinvented Instagram. I'm probably going to steal those graphics for Twitter, honest to God. They're great. They're sharp. They look just as good as any other mainstream outlet out there right now. She is crushing it. It's awesome. Buana B says, great eyebrows. I have been complimented many a times by both men and women about my eyebrows. I've never plucked them. I've never modified. These are my natural eyebrows. They are very nice. If you're watching the live show, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you're incredibly confused and you're wondering, why do I listen to this show? Salacious Rum says, the Monkey Lizard Army are fans of BTBD. That's what we like to see. Gilster, a Thrawn we have never seen. That's what we want in Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising. Jesus, just the title alone gets me hot and sweaty. Salacious Rum again says, BTBD, well done, peeps. Vader's Girl 28, I'll get to it eventually, LOL. We have a lot of stuff going on there. Ion Cannon says, let the Patreons listen on that staff meeting. We're actually talking about doing that. We're also talking about on the Patreon every Sunday night doing a Patreon call where it's Patreon exclusive, right? Duh. And we'll have all 18 of us on the phone call, and we'll just be talking about, what are you up to? How are you doing during this difficult time? Like, it's a pandemic, right? What are the things that you want to see maybe shows discuss? And a few other things, but it's definitely a conversation to have with you. And also, we're going to do some sweet giveaways. Josh knows how to etch lettering on glass. That's all I'm going to say. But it's It's cool. I have, where is it? Is it behind me? BTB Live sign. Oh, man, this is such bad. If you're listening to the audio, this is... If you're listening to the audio, this is so bad. But if you're watching, it kind of makes sense. So this was a gift. Oh, so there's no glare. This was a gift from Josh. He etched the BTBD Network logo on glass. And we're going to be giving away a similar giveaway on an upcoming Patreon call. So be on the lookout for that. Really excited. Gilster, thank you for the compliment, sir. Thank you. It feels so good to be back. So proud to get this episode under an hour. This is impressive. Most impressive. This is impressive for me. Sometimes I go like an hour 15. We're all wondering, why the hell are we still here? We have to go. That's what we're doing right now. We are going. I think we need a live BTBD meeting on the show just for fun. Those calls, let me tell you, they are organized, but we do find ways to go on tangents, and it's wild. I do want to, before we get out of here, 2 comments that are actually related to Thrawn that we just talked about. Pete Fletcher, Pete says he wants to hear more of Mark Thompson doing Thrawn. I totally agree with you. I do really like those Scott. Okay, I'm saying this. There's no but here. Scott Lawrence's Vader for Vader Immortal, pretty dope. Mark Thompson's Vader, extremely dope. See what I did there? Yeah. I want more Mark Thompson Vader too. Ion Cannon says, I'm looking for the book so I can delve deeper into the Chiss and how they use their Force sensitives. Yes, I want that too, and you should too. Really just appreciate everyone joining me for the live show tonight. A lot of fun. We've been through it already. You know how to listen to us. If you don't want to watch us, maybe you find me ugly, and that's okay too. Hey, remember that musical that we showed you, that parody? Listen to it again. It's a great. This is the way you make me feel. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.